You know, after the absolute garbage I was forced to endure at the tail end of last year, what I really needed was a bit of a palate cleanser. A fun, enjoyable, entertaining movie that I could just lose myself in for a couple of hours, gradually washing away the disastrous nightmare that was 2022. And as it happens, I've found just the thing in the form of Bullet Train, an action comedy about a bunch of hitmen pitted against each other on a high-speed train from Tokyo to Kyoto. It sounds kind of ridiculous because, well, it is, but it's also funny, well acted by a strong cast, and directed with real flair and energy. In short, it was a nice little reminder that we're actually still capable of making fun movies with no particular agenda, except to entertain people, and it was exactly what I needed after wading through the sea of human feces that is modern entertainment. Anyway, the movie stars Brad Pitt as Ladybug, an American hitman who's just getting back into the game after taking time off for stress and anxiety. What he really wants now is a simple, straightforward kind of mission to ease him back into things, and this seems like the perfect candidate. Board a high-speed bullet train in Tokyo, retrieve a marked briefcase with minimal fuss, and get off at the next stop. Sounds easy, right? Unfortunately, Ladybug's mission causes him to cross paths with Lemon and Tangerine, a pair of British assassins that are escorting a Yakuza boss's wayward son back to his father, known only as the White Death. Complicating things even further is the Prince, another assassin posing as a schoolgirl who's blackmailing a Yakuza member into leading her to the White Death. Oh yeah, and there's also a crazy Mexican guy and a killer dressed as a giant anime character. So basically, the gist of Bullet Train is that the train is filled with killers, assassins and hitmen, all with conflicting objectives that gradually get filled in and interwoven as the movie progresses, and we discover that their presence here isn't an accident. Bullet Train is the kind of goofy, high-concept movie that we used to see all the time back in the 90s, usually born from some drug-fueled brainstorming session in a studio boardroom, and probably starring Jean-Claude Van Damme or some other B-list action hero. Okay, pitch me your best ideas, people. We've got 6 minutes to come up with a script before I go into cardiac arrest. Go! Well, assassins are pretty cool, right? Well, instead of just having one of them, let's take a whole bunch of them with different skills and special weapons and put them up against each other. That's pretty cool. But where do we set it? In a city? An island? Nah, that's been done before. We need something that'll keep them in one place so that they can't run away. What about a plane? Nah, that's too small, and it wouldn't be believable that they could get weapons on boards. Wait, I know. A bullet train. They're pretty cool, right? And they're Japanese. People love Japanese stuff. Gentlemen, we've got ourselves a movie. Honestly though, I think this is doing Bullet Train a disservice to put it in such simplistic terms, because the thing that sets this apart from your usual second-tier action dross is the quality of the writing and characterization. The plot basically hinges on the connection between each of the assassins and how their respective backstories all tie together into a larger story, and it's funny because the script really takes the time to fill in everyone's personal history. Even minor characters that are only on screen for a couple of minutes get a breezy montage that takes you through the key moments in their life leading up to this mission so that you understand exactly why they're here and what they want. And it's all brought home by a talented cast of experienced actors who know how to get the best out of their characters. Hiroyuki Sanada is a veteran actor that's been in a million different Japanese productions before moving over to Hollywood in the early 2000s, usually playing menacing villains, and he's absolutely on top form here. Brian Henry and Aaron Taylor-Johnson are great together as a pair of bickering assassins having to deal with constant problems and screw-ups, and Johnson especially steals every scene that he's in. The guy really seems to have reinvented himself in the past few years, and watching him swagger around in a designer suit and nail all of the fight scenes, you can kind of see why he's a front runner for the next Bond. Joey King also does a great turn as a manipulative young assassin who uses deception and blackmail rather than brute force to achieve her objectives. And of course, it's good to see Brad Pitt having fun in the lead role as Ladybug, a guy who's totally out of his depth and just wants to get out of the situation. The dude's like 60 years old, but he can still cut it against actors half his age. He's got a natural sense of comic timing, and he gives Ladybug just enough gravitas to sell the more serious moments when he has to. If I had to sum this movie up, I'd say that it's like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels crossed with Under Siege. There's some decent and inventive fight scenes, if you can buy the idea that two guys can be fighting to the death one minute and playing nice while an oblivious train employee passes through the next, or that you can blow an emergency hatch on a train running at full speed without the whole thing shutting down. The script is breezy and slick enough to get the job done, and it's kind of satisfying to watch all the different pieces fall into place. Again, it's not the kind of movie that you're encouraged to think about too deeply, but for what it's worth, it still comes across as smarter and better thought out than most of the bilge that passes for modern entertainment. And damn, it's nice to see talented actors making the most of the material they've been given for a change. Like I say, Bullet Train isn't the kind of film that will make a deep and lasting impression on you, because it's not really trying to. It's a fun, lightweight, disposable kind of movie that will keep you amused for a couple of hours and then be on its way with a minimum of fuss. And if you're feeling jaded and burned out by the endless garbage conveyor of modern Hollywood, then it might just be the perfect detox to get you back on track for the new year. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.